patch management part, um, we were talking about how to save time, saving time, right? And then next, troubleshooting, more troubleshooting cases. Any questions you have for me? Well, actually, Nick, when you are, when you download the patch itself, I told you PF written there, family pack. When you download the patch, the name of the patch is maintained, financial underscore PF. That's way you can edit.
Financial, how many modules are coming out?
Oh, that is basically you have to find out what there is no way. There is no command is there. That is only all you can say knowledge. So you have to directly find out, like as we know that GL, APR, fixed asset, cash money, that's it. There is no other way. Or Oracle will not clearly tell you. That means when you, not here I'm saying, then you have to find out in each business suite how many families are there, in each family how many models are there, that way you have to find out. Now when you, inside patch you cannot see. If it is family means it's all models. If you want to know how many models, you can find out from e-business suite families.
How many patches can be merged at a time?
There is no limit Oracle has given. No limit. You can merge all types of patches. Oracle has given no limit. How are we going to save time? So I think, save time we discuss on this, and more about save time and troubleshooting we discuss, and we'll talk more about troubleshooting. And troubleshooting, of course, we are going to talk more about that. If you look at when you want to save time, how we can save time actually. I think some of the options what you have seen, same options actually. You can save time. Let's look at these. When you're let me write down these options and we'll discuss one by one. Skip post patch, pause, patch, repeated tasks. I'll tell you what it is. And already you have discussed by merging patch. Merging patch. Yeah, merging patch is for saving time. Merging patch. Merging patches. Patching non-interactivity. Patching non-interactivity. Actually, the idea behind applying patches non-interactively is again to save time. Patching non-interactively and using shade abstract. We already discussed that shade abstract is also for what? Saving time. Shade, using shade abstract, and distributed images, using distributed images. Let me distributed images. And using stage instance. Non-interactive. This is patching non-interactive. I am using shade abstract, distributed feature, and using stage instance, and other is we'll see what other we can do. The idea is how we can save time. If you can save 5 minutes also, it's a very good. If you can say 5 minutes also, it's a very great. 5 minutes of production time, production downtime. 5 minutes also, great, good. And then we'll look at more about troubleshooting. See, first start with this, all the options. Skip, post patch, repeated task. You know what happens most of the time, we are not going to apply one patch, we will be applying multiple patches, most of the time. What happens after the patch is completed? Now the auto patch utility is going to perform some certain post task. What are the post patch auto config is going to perform, you know? Auto config is going to compile database invalid objects. It is going to generate forms, it is going to generate reports, it is going to run auto config every time. Whenever there is a need to compile database invalid object, auto config is doing this. So post patch activity we don't need to do that. But when you are applying one single patch. But the problem is, I'm talking the first, okay, skipping certain, post patch, skipping post patch, repeating task. When you apply this patch, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then second is immediately you are going to apply the second patch. Then this post patch are performed 2 times. Again when you are going to apply second patch, then third, 3 times. What we can do, we can, just we can skip the first and the second time and we can only perform one time. Compilation of database objects, 3 times not required, 1 time is enough. Generating forms required, not 3 times is required, 1 time is enough. Running auto config last. So here it is going to waste a lot of time, first and second. So here what we have to do, when you are applying this patch, so the first patch, for the first and second patch, now you say, like, due to some reason you say, no, I'm not merging patches, I'm applying individually. Again, one of the advantage of merging patches is that the post patch activity will be performed one time. But here you want to apply patches individually because you want to monitor it, you want to test it, you want to check it, any patch. And but you still want that it should not perform post task. So when you are applying 3 patches, it should not perform post task after every patch. So for the first patch, when you say AD patch, you have to say option equal to no compile DB. No compile DB, no gen form. Don't compile DB, don't generate form. Okay? No compile JSP, no compile JSP. All these functions, this you can find out, you can get it on the list. The important function, no compile DB, no gen form, no compile DB, no auto config. You have something called no validate DB, okay, but these are main important. This is going to save lots of time. No compile DB, no, for the first 2 patches. You got it? So that means when you apply first patch and if there are some invalid objects are there, you can go to second patch. That's what first you have to do. When you apply first patch, there are invalid objects are there, no problem. You don't need to compile them before going to second patch. You can go to second patch. There are more objects are there, no problem. You can go to third patch. And at a time you can perform all these after the last patch. That's it. And you understand this, isn't it? Post patch task one time. Post patch task one time, not every patch. That's it. And for the last patch, you don't give this option. Or else you can use AD admin also. Like you can use AD admin for compilation to generate forms. You got it? So by this you should understand that after every patch, auto patch utility is going to do all these things. Okay. Even auto config utility will connect to every schema and will look whether this schema is registered or not. So even, oh no, that's a waste of time. That's a waste of maybe few seconds. No validate DB. Don't validate, don't connect, don't check every schema. No validate DB. But that's okay, few seconds, but more time. Here we are not talking about saving of few minutes, saving of few hours. Yes. The people who when they apply patches without, like say when they are applying multiple patches separately without merging, and when they are not using this option, they are wasting hours today. They are wasting hours. And it has been reported, we know that. Like most of the people say, oh, we have wasted 10 hours, 12 hours. Later we realized that we, unnecessary, we were supposed to skip these options. Because once the patch is done, this is going to take lots of time, compilation of an object. So we can do one time. First option. When you are applying multiple patches individually, then you can perform post-patch task one time. Now, again you have better idea about merging patches. Now what you can do, you can merge patches. When you merge patches, then post-patch activity you perform one time, isn't it? But first time if you apply individually, it is good idea. Then later on you can even merge them also. Merging, what is the utility? AD, MRG, PCH. You saw that merging utility, how to merge. But the main idea behind merging is again save time. There is no reason, only for save time. Merge and apply. But here you have to know certain things. Which patches we should merge, which patches we should not merge, or which patches we can't merge, we should and we cannot, Now we will discuss second point. Merging of patches. Technically speaking, you can merge any patch, but only those patches of different releases, different release and different platform cannot be merged. But that's a common sense, I can say, very common sense. Why we should merge different releases and different platforms? That means, in other words, you can merge every patch. When Oracle is saying that you cannot merge only patches of different platform, Windows and Linux, that means you can merge every patch. Isn't it? And you know that, I think we already discussed that, E-Business Suite multi-node setup supports split architecture. Each node can have its own different operating system. But problem is what? For example, your Forms is running on Solaris, your Apache is running on, say, Windows. Then same patch you have to download how many times? 2 times. Same patch. So when you are downloading the patches, you have to select the platform. So patches are platform and language dependent. Patches are platform and language dependent. You can say platform. Patches are platform dependent. Patches are platform dependent. Platform and language dependent. Patches are platform and language dependent. That means if you have the same platform and same release, no problem, any patches merge. But still we have to follow certain guidelines when we are merging patches. When you have multiple language installed, now let's say we have MLS setup, multilingual setup we have. This is called, we have a multilingual setup, MLS setup, multilingual setup. So we have already MLS setup. In a MLS setup, you will be having like this, you will be having multiple languages. Now let's say your base language is English. Your base language is what? English. Say English. English means it is US. The the US English. Right? But you have some NLS languages, means extra languages. So what your NLS languages are, say for example, let's say for example you have Arabic, okay, and D, German, FR, French. Okay, this is international. This is standard code for Arabic. This is for Arabic. Okay, this is German and French. So you have total, say, 4 languages. The base language is US English and NLS is AR, D and France. What is the best thing? You can merge all 4 and you can apply. But again, I'll tell you the best practice here. We can, we can avoid certain downtime here. You should not merge the base language with NLS languages. You should not merge all. So it is like this. First, you always apply base language patch separately, base language patch, and then you apply this NLS language patches by merging them. So you see the steps here. You know, look at the steps. Names. Now look, stop plot. Production services are down. Look at it. Production down. Apply. Which patch? Apply what? English patch. Why English patch here? Base language. Apply base language patch or English patch, or the best you can say apply what? Sorry, what is that? Base language patch. Here, what is the base language patch? US English. Now see here, interesting, huh? Start prod. Yeah, start prod. And then apply merge NLS patch. Apply merge NLS patch. Merge it. Now you must understand. See, interesting. That means when you are applying merge NLS patch, your services are running. Your services are running. So you know the detail is like this. First, stop production services. So no user can log in, stop production, apply base language patch and start. Then you can ask English user, because most of the users are English, right? Because the base language. You can ask English user to log in. And then you ask the Arabic user, German user to log out. Don't log in, don't log in. You start the services. And then you are applying which patch? Then this patch you have to apply what? Option is equal to what? Hot patch. Understand? Hot patch. First you merge and then AD patch, merge patch, driver is equal to merge patch, and then option is equal to hot patch. Without enabling maintenance or without stopping services, we are applying this patch. NLS patch. So that means this the advantage is that when you are applying merge patch, your English users can log in, they can work. For example, if you merge 4 patches, nobody can log in. Yes. Like quickly, if I want to compare this, as you are a DBA, from your DBA example, like for example, one of my data file is damaged, non-system based, so I'll make that data file offline and I can recover that while the remaining database is up and running. We don't need to shut down the whole, we don't need to mount, right? So like this, availability will be there. So when we are applying this patch, still application services are available. Technically speaking, how is it possible? How is it possible? You understand it. There is something common between all these patches. What actions are common? Database actions are common. When you apply English patch and then when you apply Arabic patch, or when you apply Arabic patch first or English patch later, so that means the common database actions have already been performed. You apply which patch first? The base language patch. The base language is what? English. So that means database actions have already been performed. Database actions have already been performed. Database job is done. Okay? And now application. So no problem. So when database tasks have already been applied, so you can start the services. So when you apply NLS patch, this NLS merge patch will not go for again database task. Maybe database creating some backend tables, these and no, not required, because only application related enhancement. So this is MLS, in MLS setup, this is the best. This is what you can do. So while you are applying, you can apply this merge NLS patch, and here you understand that mostly which patch we have to merge? NLS patches we have to merge. Only NLS patches. So that they can be applied separately. They can be applied while services are running. And they can be applied while the base language user can still work. If you make some changes here, for example, like your base language is Arabic. This is base language, Arabic. And then you have this the US, the German, and then you do this. Then you apply here. First you apply this Arabic patch. So while you are applying Arabic patch, everything is done, total stop services. Then you can ask Arabic user to go and log in and start working with applications. But you have to ask this English, German, French user to not log in. So it's all about your base language. First you apply the base language first. Base language. which is the main primarily your users, base language users. So this is about merging. I think merge you have already seen that. That's it. Now I'm going to talk about this non-interactively, as you have already seen this. So we are discussing all these options one by one. Just for ideas, saving time, right? Saving time. Well, you have already seen how to apply patch non-interactively. Again, what is an idea behind non-interactively is so that you can save time. You can automate. How you can automate the patch process? How you can automate by applying non-interactively. When you can run a patch non-interactively, you can develop a script. You can develop a shell script, or you can develop a Perl script. To that particular shell script or Perl script, you can automate the whole patch process. If a client doesn't want to take the license of a commercial product, Quintana, APM, they don't want to spend, so you can develop your own scripts, your own tools for patch application. Isn't it? That patch, that script, through that script, what you can do, you can stop application services, you enable maintenance mode through one simple script, and then you can apply the patch, and after the patch, send email message. You can do it through your own script. Okay. I'll just give you an idea. So the main reason patching non-interactively is, again, of course, save time and automation, for automation. Again, automation to reduce the mistakes and to save time. Automation, automate it. You want to apply patch on a specific time, isn't it? Yes, you can do it. Or you can schedule it. If it is a script, you can schedule it. So how you saw, right? There is a file we are going to use, default file, ad or default.txt. So using that file, we copy that file, and using that file, what we can do, with the help of that file, what we can do, we can run the auto patch utility, even ADadmin or ADCTRL, you can run them non-interactively. Okay. So you know what the commands you already know. Like what's the command actually? AD patch, isn't it? AD patch was that you have to say what? Default file, where you keep that under upper top admin under SID, right? So the file name is, when you say, for example, def.txt, or I can say tz.txt. This is my default file. It contains all the tokens, like whatever auto patch utility asks interactively, tokens. So it contains the token, all the values are there. And then you have to say what? Interactive is equal to no. And then you have to specify the top directory. Patch top is equal to, where is your patch top? You specify the patch top. Say u0, 1, whatever. Right? And then you can say workers also, right? Workers is equal to, say for example, 6. Fine. But how you can put it in a script? How you can put it in a, and you know what, even if you are running like this, you know what you can do? Last you put an ampersand and run it. If you run ampersand, you know that this auto patch utility will run in where? Background. You know that? Background. Now you come down, you exit here. So you exit means what? No problem. Auto patch utility running in background. Right? It is perfectly running. So you what are the arguments? Default files, interactive, patch top, workers. Even you can use the log file name also. Log file name. Or if you take the default log file. This ampersand last to run it in background. You can have various options. For example, you can use this nohub utility, nohub. So that if you write to nohub.out, is it not Unix commands, Linux Unix commands. It's not applicable. Unix commands, scripting commands are the nohub and all that. But how do you give it a proper shape? Proper shape of a script. Okay. So for example, like like I would like to call it like maybe I would like to call it like say from dollar I say just say patch.sh, just patch.sh. Then in that my script, first what we should do, we must first set the bash. Which bash? If it is Solaris, KSH. If it is Linux, I will go for what? Bash. In Solaris, KSH. Preferred. Bash shell. And then the next line, you have to set up the environment. So you give the now you make this script independent script. This script should run and should perform all the tasks. It should set the environment. Dot, blank space. You need to run what? The environment file. Where is the environment file name? You know that whatever the location. Say for example, you might have kept in apps, whatever. You know what the name? Which file we have to go? Apps context name dot env. Set the environment. Set the environment. After environment set, what do you have to do? Stop the services through all these utilities in this script. So you have to run AD STP all, right? So now you need to run which script you have to run? AD STP all dot sh. And then next you have to do what? I'm giving you an idea. Only idea I'm giving you how to write your own shell script automation. Next you have to enable what? Maintenance mode. For that, what is the script name you are going to run for this maintenance mode? AD set mmd.sql enable. Correct? This is script. You can enable maintenance mode from here. Set the environment, stop application services, and enable maintenance mode. All you can do through this script. And once you have done it, you run this. No hub mode, direct this. Direct AD patch. This is in a file, direct patch. This is the file. VI, faster, all the content. No interview, no ampersand. Because now we are running through it. And then, how can you say that, every time you can make it, this script you can make a script. Every time you want to run this, you want to apply different patches. So what you can do, you can say patch stop is equal to ampersand. Now you can give an argument here. Say for example ampersand 1. This is you have to specify the patch location, the top directory. And here you can use $2. This ampersand 2. This is for what? Yeah, this is for example $1, $2. This is the argument. So this is the script. So now whenever you are running a script, you have to pass two arguments. You have to pass what? Name of the path, absolute path of the directory. And you have to pass what? You have to pass the total workers as an argument. So this script is becoming a generic now. Now once this script is done, okay, then you have to write, what? You need to send a, email message kind of thing, right? Email message. So, what you can do, you can start the services later. You can do. For example, now you disable maintenance. AD set, right? mmd dot SQL. You have to say disable, and then start services. You understand that? AD strt start services. And then you write a mail script. For example, I would say mailx. For example, mailx, send mail, mailx, FNS. Here you can send an email message. When you need to know the syntax. Mailx, FNS, the email ID, and here you have to give the part of your log file name. You know the log file name. Your application, Appletop, admin, SID, log. Okay, and here you give the name of the log file also. Log file, what is the log file? For example, $3. Okay. Log file, and that log file dollar name you specify $3 here. Just say when you run this script, it is going to automate. It is going to set up the environment, do all these things, run the patch. After the patch is completed, it is going to disable maintenance mode. It is going to start the services. Last, it will send an email message. So just imagine, like, within few minutes we can do that. If you spend sufficient time, proper sufficient time, and if there is a couple of guys, or you can make a very strong tool actually. You can make it very strong. You can convert it into polyscript also. You can check the conditions. You can do a lot of things actually. For example, if the patch is already applied, you can say, before that you can go and check into database. If the patch is already applied, no, this patch cannot because it is already applied. You can check a lot of things here. If the services are running, you can know still services are something like that. Or this script can ask you, would you like to apply this without stopping or without stopping services? Then this autopatch already should pass the option called option equal to hot patch. All these are the next steps. Enhancement. You're all that you have to sit down. Don't stand up. Sit down and do it. Okay. Sit down and do it. All that enhancement to this script. But why I'm telling you this? Now you don't expect that you go to a client place and they are using from $prompt they are typing AD patch. No, never expect that. Either they are using third-party tool or they are using their own scripts. That's it. Majority. I can say that only where you can see if any organization they are using AD patch directly. For example, recently they have implemented Oracle. Just recently they have implemented e-business suite. So they may not have any third-party tools or they may not have their own scripts. If you join them, probably you may be asked to do this. You may be asked to develop scripts. You will be asked, client will ask you to do this. Otherwise, you will be having this script. But this is just an idea, a sample idea. You have to make it a lot of improvements here. And you can do a good thing here. And that's the same thing, the cloning, the backup, the cloning, the monitoring part, all these things through script. You have seen registration of tables, registration of forms. Even we used to do through script. Who's going to do that? Go that run ADDD table to register a never script. Registration of forms, script. You give the name of the form, it will be registered. So all these things you can do through what? Scripts. Right? Now, if you see here, using Shade After, already we have discussed here that we can save time here. But there are two things are there. When you are using Shade After, you have to run patch one time, and at the same time you can use this very good feature called distributed AD feature. You can use this distributed AD feature on Shade After, okay, and you can make the patch application very fast. Now see, on a Shade After, you will be having multi-nodes, but one copy of Aperture, right? So two things we'll discuss here. How we can use that distributed AD feature also we'll see that. So you have a shade, shade storage here, Shade After, and now you have got, say, multi-nodes here, right? So you have three copies of it. Let's say here, okay, your DBTAR is here, your application files are here. Okay. Complete after top, common top, application services are here. I'm sorry, this is INS3 top. Only what we have here? Only INS3 top. Only INS3 top. Only INS3 top. The application parts are here, right? Upper top, common, text stack is here. So you are applying this patch. On the Shade After, the OS must be same. The OS, it doesn't support split architecture. Shade After doesn't support split architecture. The OS, all OS must be same. In Shade After, all OS must be same. That again we are going to discuss. Now let's see this. In this box, you have got total, say for example, 4 CPUs you have. Here in this box, you got 2 CPUs. Here you got 2 CPUs. And no need to have the same resources. No need to have same resources. In this box, 4 CPU, 2 CPUs and 2 CPUs. you can, how many workers you can run per CPU? 2 workers. 2 workers, right? So 2 into 8, 4. Now you can see, the problem is that, yeah, you have to run patch one time, right? You have to run, from here you are running the patch, right? Now interact with, say, for example, AD patch, okay? AD patch. Then how many workers you can start total, maximum? 8. Or you can go 12 also, 3 also. If you, 3 per CPU is 12. Or 8. But the problem is, yeah, we are running patch one time because we have shared after. You have to run patch one time from anywhere. You don't need to run 3 times, but you have to run one time. Yeah, time is saved here, but still there is one problem here. When you are running patch on this DB node, these 2 nodes are sitting idle. Correct? You are running patch here, these 2 nodes resources are not utilized. So how we can use the resources of all the nodes? So it is like this. From this particular first node, you are running AD patch. Now you are saying AD workers. Total workers you can start. You know what? Total how many? 8 plus 8, 16. AD workers how many? 16. And then you have to say local workers how many? 8. Local workers 8. So that means, you know what it does? It will start total 8 workers here. And here we can start what? 4 and 4. So we are distributing what? AD workers. So this is exactly for distributed AD. So right now we are talking about this distributed AD. Distributed AD feature is in a shared AppStar environment, you can distribute your AD workers on all the nodes depending on the resources. Now look at it. Here how you can start it. Using ADCTRL, you have to say ADCTRL. When you are running this, you have to run with this option. AD controller distributed is equal to yes. ADCTRL distributed is equal to yes. Then it is going to ask you like how many workers you want to start. How many workers you want to start. You can specify the range. Then it will ask you range. The range is what? 9. Right? 9 to 9, 10, 11. How many? 4 na? Total how many? 12, right? 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 total. Range. So how many started here? 4. And again on this also you have to say same thing. AD CTRL distributed. Again it will ask you range, worker range. So what is the range you have to specify here? 13 to 16. So here how many workers will be started? 8. Here 4. Here 4. The patch is running from here, but workers are running here as well as workers are running here. Now your job, the patch can run fast. The patch is no doubt going to run fast because it is using local CPUs, these CPUs. Okay. ADCTRL distributed, it will ask you range. How many workers you want to start? Already 8 is started there. So we have to start 9 to total 4 now. So 9, 10, 11, 12. But again, like distributed AD feature is only supported in a shared AppStar environment. It is only supported in shared AppStar environment. Without shared AppStar environment, like multi-node, you cannot use distributed AD feature. Only in multi-node environment without shared AppStar. Here you have to specify total workers and workers, how many you want to start on this one. So first time 80 patch, then next 80 CTL to start this one. And the next sample here is, we can apply the patch using the stage instance. What is that stage instance and how we can apply on the patch on the production, but not direct, but through stage instance. This stage instance is actually a clone of production instance. So we have to maintain the clone actually. Of course, we are going to see later cloning. So you maintain the clone of the production. When you have already tested the patch is already tested. Now we are going to apply the patch on the production. But still, instead of applying the patch on the production, we can apply this same patch through the stage. Again, the idea is to save some time. So we are applying patch on the production, but not indirectly. So this is an indirect patch application. There are some limitations are there. The big patches you can apply, like most of the individual patches are applied here. Okay, and again you have to, maintain a separate machine, separate instance only for patching. That is called stage. You see the step, you understand. Now let's say for this example, to make this simple, I'll just take single node example. Okay, so here we have this, our single node production instance is there. So first you have to do, you have to make a what? You have to make a clone actually. You have to make a clone. And in this clone actually, the same OS everything, but this is like, we are calling like stage. This is what? R12 instance, stage instance. This is the production and we have cloned to what? Stage. So it's the same copy. So that means here, like, your Apple top, your common top, your tech stack, same copy. There is no change. This is exactly 100% same. Apple, clone, all same. Even your database, everything is same. But of course, the problem is after cloning, your database will not be in sync. Correct? Because right after cloning, when users are performing some transaction on the production, so only what will be in sync? Application will be in sync. Is there any change in application? Hardly. When you are applying patches, right, then only change will come. So after cloning, your database will be out of sync, but your application will be in sync actually. If you have cloned 1 month back also, your application will be in sync. Same if you have not applied any application patches. Okay, now is it okay? So we have cloned and the name is stage we are giving. Stage, and the Apple top, common top copies are same, 100% same because it's cloned. Your database not same, okay, no problem. Now it is like this. When we apply patch, the moment we start applying patch, downtime begins. What are the actions? Copy, like this copy and generate database. So idea is like this. When we are applying patch directly on the production, the copy and all that, so downtime begins. So why we can do one thing? We can run this copy driver or copy action on this stage. And then what we can do, the CG we can run here, the copy and generate portion we can run here, and then we can copy this apple.com here. Instead of that, because the patch is slow, copy is fast. Instead of running, which action I am talking about? CG here, so like this, we will run what? Copy and generate where? On stage. Now listen, when you are running copy and G, the option right? The same now what is that? Option is equal to no database portion. No database portion. So it will go for C and skip D, directly goes for G. First, now tell me, when you are running CG here, it is slow, no doubt, and rate change will happen. So your production is downtime or up? Is it down or up? So the same time I tell you the steps also, very simple. The first, look at that. Look at it. Stop stage. Wow. Stop stage. Apply what? Apply what? CG on. So that means if the CG is going to take, say, for example, maybe say 40 minutes. Till that 40 minutes, your production is what? Running. The production is running. Okay. CG. CG we have applied. Your production is running. Huh? And then after that, now you stop what? Now you stop production. Now the downtime begins. After CG. As an example, say 40 minutes. Now you stop production. And then you copy this, whatever the changes are. Copy. What do you do? Copy. Apple top, common, except certain files, except some environment files which I will give you the list, I'll tell you. From what? From stage to production. Now you copy this. So that is interesting thing. Good. Whatever changes are applied, the changes will come here again back. That's it. So instead of making direct changes, we are making indirect changes. So we are applying patch here and then we are copying here. Why? Because copying is fast patching. Suppose if this copy, suppose if this is taking say 40 minutes and if this copy is taking say 10 minutes, how much time we have saved? Half an hour, 30 minutes we have saved. And in most of the organizations there are so many advanced methods of their copy. Image copies, replica, snapshot, so many. And if you tell me that, no, whatever, because of my some problem, network problem, my copy is slow, then better this option is not good. If your copy is very fast, then only this option is good. The way we are saving time, the time required to apply CG versus copy. Simple thing, that's it. The time required to apply CG versus copy. So I'm asking you, which is taking more time? If it's a copy, don't think about this using stitch. If you say yes, I can save I can save 50% time if through copy is my faster. Then I can say this is very good. Because I told you patches are by default they are slow. So instead of applying patches directly on the production, we are applying indirectly through what? Stage. And stage is nothing but a copy of production, clone of production. And then you know what? Database part we can't do, like you can't play with this database because database is very difficult. No. So this CG. So now I'm asking you, CG is applied on the production or not? Yes, it is applied after copy. Not direct but indirect. You apply here and then copy. Because this apple and that apple, both apple tops are same. So you copy certain, the path has copied some files and that you copy. Finish. That's it. And then when it comes to database, well, database you can apply directly from here, or you can run from database. You can run. Database you run from here itself. Database portion you can run, or database portion also you can run from there, or you can run from here. Database portion, but D you have to run run D what? Run D on. That is very important. Run D on. D. Now you have to say AD patch option is equal to no copy portion, no generate portion. It is going to run D. D direct on the production. D production and then later you run D on stage so that you can keep synchronous. So the idea is only copy portion and generate portion can be applied there and then copy that because patches are total downtime. See, total downtime is bigger here. Look at that. Downtime started here. And then after D, next, what 6 is what? Start, prod. 7th is what? Now you look at there. Then run D on. Why? Because synchronous. And then 8th is what? Now you start stage, you don't start stage, no problem. And you know what? But there is only thing is left here, remaining here. You know what is that? Everything is perfectly done here. CG we have done like that, and D directly we applied on D. It's okay. Now the only thing is that, like, you know, when you are applying CG, when you apply CG, the patch history will be recorded in this database stage. So there is something missing from here. No, patch is successfully applied, perfect, it has fixed the bug, everything. What is missing here now? Only patch history will be missing. Patch history related to what? CG, because we apply patch CG here now. So patch history is recorded here. So the last and the final step is, you can do it later, you can do after 1 day, after a week also, anytime you can do it. Last and final step is that migrate later, patch history. And for that, I'll give you the complete result. There is a utility Oracle provided called adphmigr.pl. It is AD utility, it is in AD top bin directory you find. ADPH, patch history, MIGR, migration.perl. Using this Perl utility, you can migrate patch history, you can copy patch history from one instance to another instance, from stage to production. Migrate patch history, stage to production, stage to prod, and only related to what? Only related to C and G. It's okay, even if you don't, but there may be some confusion, like, oh, you have run a patch and you have run only D, you didn't run CG. Actually it is applied, but only patch history is not updated.
We don't need to sync the database at the stage. While we are cloning, database went out of sync. So we don't have to sync.
No.
No.
Well, there is something called what you are saying, refresh part. That can be done later. That can be done. Data, in terms of data, it can be done later. You know what, like between two databases, there is some slight difference are there in terms of data, it's okay. We'll discuss about troubleshooting and some brief about cloning also I'm going to discuss, so that at least some of the steps you can see in the cloning phase also. Because cloning, again, we are going to spend 2 days, 2 sessions on cloning. Cloning pre-steps are there and copy steps will take a lot of time. So still pre and copy steps we can discuss at least. So I'll give you time for this, we'll take 2 minutes break and I'm going to continue. Is it okay? Later you can let no problem. I'll give you the there is a handout is also there for all the steps. Now, if you look at this, we'll discuss something about this. Other what are the other ways if you want to improve the performance? Or sorry, save the time or performance, whatever. We have to always maintain, the AOL and AD, the latest patches. For these two modules, we have to maintain the latest patches. So always make sure that you have to first apply patches on these two technology modules, AOL and AD. AOL and AD, first high priority. Otherwise, because of that also your patch may take more time. Okay, and then next, you have to have latest statistics. Optimizer statistics, we gather optimizer statistics. So you must have to have latest statistics. Always gather statistics. So there are 2-3 important. Snapshot. Snapshot in application snapshot in AD there is an option called snapshot. Information about the files. And also statistics. Statistics, in database you gather statistics. database statistics. Which is the package you use to gather database statistics? DBMS underscore stats. DBMS underscore stats package. So using that. Here in Oracle application we are using FND underscore stats. We have to use FND underscore stats. Again in PT class we'll discuss that. So you have latest statistics, then your patch time will be faster. So before patching, upgradation, cloning and all, you have, particularly patching and upgradation, you need to have a latest statistics. Your optimizer statistics must be gathered. And then you keep your code latest up to date. If, like, you know, those who are delaying patches, na? So for them the downtime will be more actually. If those who are regularly applying, proactively applying patches, for them, yes. If you have latest patches available, then your patches will take less time. Isn't it? If you look at the upgradation, somebody upgrading from 11.5, you know, like say, like to R12, from 11.9 to R12 upgradation. Somebody upgrading from 11.5 and 9, and some is from 11.5. You think same time is going to be? Same time? For which, who's going to take less time? At least for this, because they are on the latest, because they have latest patches. The main thing is the patches. So that means we should have all the latest available patches. Okay. And then I said that already we have to spend more time, and this is another important area in there. You know that there are two things are there, like patches are running slow or patches patch session is hanging. Patches are hanging or patch session is hanging. Is doing nothing. First, we already discussed, if a patch fails, what you have to do? You have to look at the log file, fix the issue and restart the patch. Restart the patch, right? So for example, if you look at C fail, please don't say C means I'm not talking about split driver, I'm talking unified driver, but at the first action, copy action fail. C or copy action fail. So what you have to do, you have to go through what? Log file. You know, you have two LOG, LGI are there. This is only for informative messages. Actual log file is LOG. Patch generate two log file, LOG and LGI. This contain only informative messages. What patch has done, what are the steps it has skipped. But main log file is LOG. Location, you know that. Log file. You open the log file, and then you may find that, you know, this patch is trying to do certain things and unable to do it, maybe because of some you know, files are missing. It is trying to run some scripts and it is throwing an error, okay, or maybe some space problem is there, file permission problem is there, or maybe it is looking for sudden file. So you know, there are so many. You have to, you know, comfortably spend some time trying to understand that. At the time when the patch failed, what it was trying to do exactly. So look at the log file, last, what it was trying to do actually. So what is our experience is that sometimes, you know, it was trying to run one script and then it was maybe throwing some error. So we manually fixed that and then again we rerun the patch was okay, successful. It was trying to look for a file and we created one manual, you know, empty file, and then it could, when later we said, okay, Oracle said, well, you can apply another patch and all that. So sometimes manually you can fix certain issues. For that you have to, you know, patiently you have to look at the log file. So what it is trying to do, figure out, like spend some time what it is trying to do, and then you can do that. I'll give you more scenario, more example. This is one log, patch C. Now, if the patch got terminated, how you restart the patch? Terminated. Again you have to say what? Restart the patch is just AD patch, and then it will ask you what? There is a previous patch session running, would you like to continue previous session? How is it asking? Where it is, where it has maintaining, where it has stored the status of the previous session? No. You know that restart folder, yeah? Under upper top, admin, SID, you have direct equal what? Restart. When the patch is running, the patch utility is going to maintain the progress, patch progress here in the restart directory. Patch progress is maintained in restart directory. When the patch session got terminated now, again when you restart the patch session now, when you rerun the patch utility, it is going to check, it is going to read the restart folder and say, oh, there was a previous session running, and it can continue from the point of failure. How is it possible that a patch can be restarted from the, do we need to, when a patch fails, do we need to start from the script? No, we can start from the point of failure, because the patch progress is maintained. Okay. And apart from that, you know, for AD workers, there are tables are there, FND install processes table is also there, correct? But that table will come into picture only for D and G, I told you clearly, not for C, correct? C, for C, no AD workers. So there are two things I am talking about. If C fails, look at the log file and fix it and continue the patch. Just type AD patch, or if suppose you know my patch is nice but system got rebooted, no problem. Type AD patch and fine. But again, same thing, you have to learn one more thing here. How to restart a patch, how to restart a terminated or failed patch, non-interactive patch, non-interactive, not this way, you can't run this way. You were running a patch non-interactively and it got terminated, or it got some error. You were running a non-interactive, just non-interactive you were running in background, non-interactive means background, and it got some error. So how we have to restart it? Say even you fix the error, but how you restart it? So to restart, you know down there, restart failed non-interactive patch. Restart failed non-interactive patch. Again, what you have to do, you know, that AD patch, this is the problem. Again, defaults file, yes. All that, all you have to say, yes. Interactive is equal to what? No, and then you have to say what? Patch stop, yes, you have to use. And then you have to use one more keyword called restart is equal to yes. Restart is equal to yes. Because before saying restart is equal to this. So when do you have to say restart is equal to yes? Yeah, you put workers also, AD workers also. When do you have to say restart is equal to yes? When you want to restart a failed non-interactive patch. And to restart failed interactive patch, just type AD patch enter. That's it, AD patch enter. AD patch enter, it will ask you, there was a previous session running greater than 20 years, but it is not the case with non-interactive patch. This is another important thing, somebody may check, yes, you have to know that. How to restart a patch, non-interactive patch this. Again you have to pass all the arguments with one extra, that is restart is equal to yes.
Fails normally also if you give AD patch, it counts for the parameters.
Which one, like
If non-interactive patch fails, still you can give AD patch and start interactive, you know. It will ask for the restart.
no. Like, because it was non-interactive, you have to install non-interactive, or you can do one thing, you terminate it and then start interactively. If you want to start fresh, interactively if you want to start. But converting non-interactive interactively, Oracle is not supporting that. Okay. So Oracle said that non-interactive, you continue non-interactive, otherwise you terminate it, process is there, terminate it, you stop, and then you start afresh.
How do you know last patch was running with interactive and non-interactive?
You can run with that same parameter actually. When the patch fails, the auto patch will ready. Okay. So then it will tell you, like, you know, that this was running like non-interactively, like the log file. This in the non-interactive, interactive is equal to no. So this will be recorded in the log file, non-interactive. Looking at the log file, you can. And if you, for example, you know, you want that the auto patch will be okay. You should not look for the previous session. So in this restart folder, we create a special file called rfmain file. rfmain. If you remove all these files, gone. Your previous backup, previous information is lost. Previous session information is gone. I'll tell you when to do that also. So you know, as we have discussed that this C is done successfully. Now D failed. So D failed means AD worker has failed. AD worker has failed. So you know what? First, what is it? Check AD worker log file. Check AD worker log file, and then fix the error, and then restart AD worker. That's it, right? But suppose, you know, there's a very old scenario we have. It has now become a very old. When first time I represented, it was a very fresh, but now, you know that like most of the time we forget something. Forget to apply prerequisite patch. We forgot to apply what? Prerequisite patch. And the patch has failed. Here, D. So what we have to do now? It is like this, huh? So you are applying this patch interactively, non-interactively, whatever say interactively, you are applying a patch called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there is a prerequisite patch called 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Let's say, you know, it has failed. Now we don't know it has failed. After it has failed, we realize, oh, we missed. Or maybe you are asking what is, oh, you missed prerequisite patch. So you know what? Again, going back is very, you know, like going to take time, right? Cleaning this process. So without going back, without restoring everything, how we can apply that prerequisite patch? You cannot apply 2 patches at a time. So you know what Oracle people used to suggest? Before Oracle people used to suggest that you do one thing, you restore your Apple top, common top, you restore your database, everything, means rollback, complete cancel everything, restore database, Apple top, common top, and then you apply what? The prerequisite patch, and then you come to this patch, main patch. But that used to take lots of time, unnecessary waste of a lot of time. One of the guy was there, he was a senior apps DBA, he presented his idea in International Oracle Application User Conference that no, this cannot be unnecessary, there is one alternative we can do that. So he presented this very nice idea. You know what, it's a very simple thing. He said that, okay, do one thing, you open another terminal, you don't disturb this terminal, you don't disturb this patch, and there are 2 tables are already there. What is that? FND, install, processes, AD, deferred jobs, 2 tables are there, and plus you also have this directory, restart directory. The patch is hanging, the D, waiting, and you have 2 table and that. You cannot apply second patch because this 2 table already there, and that's it. So do very simple. Now you do one. Now look at it. You have to, very simple, rename what? Rename the tables, which tables? These 2 tables. You give some name. Say old, or whatever, some name. Rename the tables and what? Rename the restart directory. Create empty restart directory. When you rename, you create one empty. Now the tables are not there. Not there now, because rename. And the directory exists but it has nothing. Second step from this. And now you apply what? Now apply what? Apply the prerequisite patch. Fine, okay. When the prerequisite patch is going to run, this prerequisite patch may again create tables. Fine, no problem. Tables, restart, and it will drop the table also. And this problem applies. Patch is complete. And when this patch is completed, what you have to do? Now you can continue this failed worker. How? Look at it. Now what you have to do after this completed? Now what? Rename. Rename back. Rename back. Now that you can understand. Rename back means what? Again rename back this. Those 2 table and restart directory. When you rename these 2 directories, again then you can start failed workers. Okay. See, I think some of you people are looking at faces, you are lost. See, first you have to understand when a patch has failed, D has failed. When D has failed, now we are trying to find why D has failed, or we realize, oh, we missed prerequisite patch, we forgot to apply prerequisite patch. Now we realize. Now we have to do these things. What we have to do? We have to rename this 2. Okay, D has, okay, are you there in this class? D has failed, and now we realize we have missed the prerequisite patch, and we got the prerequisite patch, but we miss it. Now, first step, what is that? Rename the two tables and rename the restart directory, and then apply the prerequisite patch, and after applying the prerequisite patch, rename back those tables again. Again, table. What are the table? Fnd install process, AD default, and restart directory again. And then after renaming back, what you have to do? Restart what? Failed. Using visual utility AD CTRL. Now I am asking you, is it going to run or not? Because we have fixed the issue now. Why did it fail? Because of some reason, and that error or that issue has been fixed by this particular prerequisite patch. So D has failed because of some issue. Say for example D has failed, and D is not looking for one file, for example, and that file is copied by another patch. Fine, it can continue. So when a D has failed, when D fails because of lack of prerequisite patch, you don't need to restore, you don't need to go back. You can apply the prerequisite patch. While one patch is still hanging, terminated, you can apply another patch, and you can come back to this failed patch. Write down the step and think of, start thinking. So you know, D failed and requires prerequisite patch. This all is given in there is a one standard Oracle document is there. Now Oracle supports. Earlier Oracle was not supporting, but now Oracle supports. Okay, I'll just again I'll write it for you just quickly. I'll make this. You write down like this. Don't write the history, just write this. C, like this only. C, D error. Okay, a worker failed. Write like this. Reason, what is the reason? Missing. What missing? Prereq patch. That's it. Now you come down. Fine, okay. What you are doing first? Name the tables. What are the tables are there? Fnd, you know this table. Fnd install processes and AD developers.
So when these two tables are not there, so the prerequisite patch can occur. Because we have
Impossible. When D has worker, the table will be definitely there.
prerequisite patch may also require these two tables.
Yeah, but
Then we are already in a
that's what like we already discussed clearly. Autopatch utility will create these two tables and will drop.
the autopilot utility has been created these two tables.
Then the new autopatch utility will recreate it. First you must understand that AD worker process in AD admin itself we discuss. You know what? AD worker concept. Whenever AD workers, the parallel processing works like this. First these two tables are created. And then AD workers will be started. And once all AD workers finishes the job, these two tables are dropped. So that means every time these two tables are created. Okay, now look at it. Rename which directly? Restart directly. After that, we are going to what now? What's the next step by step? What's the next? Run what? See, look at it. When you write prerequisite patch, this prerequisite patch will create two tables again. It creates and drops also. But if you don't rename this prerequisite patch, you cannot, because it will throw error. Your tables are already existing. So when these two tables are already existing, you cannot run a patch. So now run prerequisite. So what prerequisite is going to do? It is going to create the tables and run the patch. But one thing, it expects for the directory. What's the directory? Restart directory. So we rename. Whenever you rename, do one more thing. What do you have to do? Rename and create. Create what? Create empty restart directory. You understand? You can. It expects there must be restart directory should be there, but it does not expect the tables because tables will be created. And now, when you run this prerequisite file, what it is going to do? it is going to write it to restart directory, and it is going to create 2 tables, and it will drop the table, and the patch is done successfully. Finished. Over. Patch is done. Over. Patch is completed. And then what we have to do? We have to continue. We have to restart this, right? But where is the information about this patch? Where is the information about this patch? This patch information is in those tables which we have renamed, and it is in restart directory. So that you again rename back it. So then next is what? Continue. Then what? That's why in short I am saying rename back. Rename back means what? Suppose you have given the name say XY. So whatever, again rename back. What are the rename? You have to rename 2 tables? Rename 2 tables, rename tables. FND, install whatever there, and ADD first. And also restart directory. Yeah, समझ में आ रहा है. Rename मतलब you कुछ भी नाम दे दो, give something and give back something, isn't it? Rename something A, B, and then rename back to actual name. But when you are renaming back, it should be what name? Standard name. FND install processes ADD first. The directory name restart only. It should be restart only. When you rename, you give anything.
When we created the restart directory, that has to be again renamed.
No, when you create empty restart directory.
That will again contain files.
Yeah, no problem. That's okay, no problem.
Again, there will be 2 restart directories.
No problem. In one restart, because every patch is going to, no problem. When the patch is completed, no problem. Patch is completed, no problem. And what is that? Restart, rename this 2 table, and then and table, then file directory. Which directory? Restart directory. And then what? Next is what? Restart failed. Restart failed 81. Restart failed 81. So whenever you forget to apply redirect patch, you can do this. No, it will not check. There is nothing like that. Because that here it is not. It is an error. That's it. Error. It is looking for some file. It is looking for some. It is not finding. That is done by prerequisite patches. So one patch will never tell you. Actually, it is like this. What happens? Generally, when Oracle people develop a patch first time, and when now you are running a patch, and if that patch is giving some error, some issue. So for that they develop which patch? Prerequisite patch. And they say that before you run this patch, you run this prerequisite patch. That's it. So patches are independent. One patch will never tell you miss. Patch is not telling you. Patch is throwing an error. And when you know the detail about that error, then you will come to know that this error is because one patch is missing. And that patch is what? Prerequisite patch. Patch will not tell you. In R12 anyway, this has been reduced because of this code level, code lines. Now it is easy to take care. Clone.
Yeah. Then we are writing a patch and we get error. Then
Yeah, but what is the relationship between these patches and cloning?
cloning means we don't have a that apple top and cover top.
You are saying backup?
Yeah, backup.
It's a backup. We don't have the backup,
Yeah.
and we apply the patch and patch.
Right.
Well, then it's a bit, sometimes it may be a big problem actually. It's certain patches you cannot roll back, you cannot cancel. So, no, anyway, I'm going to tell you now itself. So anyway, we are continuing this same troubleshooting part as we Okay, so now this is one issue, fine. Now second. Now, you know, in this process you have to learn there is something called backing out process also. Backing out. Or cleaning process. You must learn this. For example, if a patch has failed, how to clean it? How to remove the effect, changes by that patch. Okay? Yeah, we will fix the problem, but now, no, I don't want to fix, but I want to clean it. Changes. Okay? For example, C has failed. How you are cleaning? What are the steps are there? You have to do what? Restore, clear restore. Restore what? Upper top and common top. That's it. C is successful. D has failed. How are you going to clean it? Cleaning. How are you going to clean the changes? How? Restore what? But database has failed. D has failed. No, I'm not talking preview. We want to, whatever the patch has done, changes, we want to remove the changes made by patches. Restore what? If C has failed, but clearly we are taking that you have to restore apple top and common top. When D has failed, what do you have to restore? So you have to restore what? Restore apple top, common top plus database. Database means inconsistency, big problem. If only C fails, you have to restore apple top, common top. See how to back out, how to take out the changes made by the patches, how to remove the changes made by the patches. Generally, these are the steps. You know, you are applying the patch, if there is C fails, no, okay, I'll apply C later. Or maybe C got terminated. No, remove all the changes made by C. There is only one way. Mostly for C. But only for D there is only one way. If D fails, even after 1 minute also, the only way you have to restore complete database. All database, you have complete database you have to restore. And here we don't say recovery. Why? Because we take offline backup, consistent backup of data, because downtime now. So that means immediately after the patch, then you can restore immediately. So this is here you are learning how to take out the changes made by the patch. For database there is only one way. I repeat, if a patch fail after a minute also, you have to restore whole database. If you want to, no, we are not talking about troubleshooting here. We are talking about, okay, how to take out the changes. Troubleshooting I told you already what to do. If the D fails, go check the log, fix and restart the fail version. Yeah. Okay, I want to do later, but now I want to take out. Or it is not the question of patch fail, it is the question of termination. D was running, AD worker, D means AD worker. AD workers were running and patch got failed. So then you have to do this. In this case you have some chances are there. If C fails, sometimes you don't need to restore the entire apple top, common top. And you understand restore apple top, common top from where? From the backup. I don't need to tell you people. Backup, that is all backup. If C has failed, but if C has copied few files, so it is like, what C is going to do, C, when it is going to copy file from the patch directory to the application directory, before that you will take the backup. So here you have a patch directory and you have your application apple top, whatever, and the C is going to copy a file. For example, it is going to copy x.fmb something, and already there is a one x.fmb is there. It is already there, and now the patch utility is also going to copy. C is also going to copy the same file. So can you tell me which is the difference? What is the difference between these two? This is a patch and that's application. What is the difference? Which one is higher in version release? This is higher. So look at it. How C is going to copy? Look at it. How C is going to copy this file. First, look at the first step. Under the patch directory, there is a directory called backup directory. First, it will take the backup. First, this is first step. C will take the backup of what? X. And then next, it what? Overwrites. Overwrites. Like this. So you know what? If C has only copied few files and failed, terminated, failed something, and now you want to cancel it. So what you can do? Again, you can copy back files from the backup directory back to application. But if there are few files, if there are large number of files, then no need to try this. Again, you have to restore whole Apple top. Few files, again you do it. What is this? What we are calling this? This process, what we are calling? Restore. Remove the changes made by patch. Again, we are getting back the old copy. That's it. So C, before overwriting any file, C is taking the backup of that file under the patch directory. Under the patch directory, you have a folder for backup. I repeat one more time, but the C has copied more number of files, then there is only one way. You have to restore complete AppleTop and CommonTop. If there are C has copied one or two few files, then you can, without restoring complete from the backup, you can just restore from which location? Patch, backup directory itself. You can restore the files from the patch, backup directory itself. But before that, you must understand this. So what C is going to do? C is going to take the backup.
Once copy is completed, then backup directory patch will automatically read it.
No, copy now, copy now.
Each copy successfully to the AppleTop.
No, still it is a backup. It will maintain backup.
You always have a backup.
Huh, of course.
How do you, decimal timestamp, you should understand that these files are copied.
Yeah. Just now means what? We are applying one patch. So that patch has failed. So that means.
There are few patches already applied. The backup files.
No, but if the patch is already applied, that means we are not going to restore. So we are talking about current patch. Why we are talking about old patches? There is nothing. Just old patches with some information like what are the patches. See, our discussion is not that. Our discussion is a patch is applying and patch fails. Our discussion is this actually. Don't mix up that previous patches. Oh, that is gone, finished. So if a patch is successfully applied, then there is no role of this backup. Even if there is a backup directory is there, backup files are there, what is the use? No use. You got it? No meaning. No meaning. No meaning, no sense, nothing. Saying that if a C fails, then it is useful. The backup directory is useful to us so that we can again copy back from the backup to application.
So how do we know patch has been failed at what stage? Like it has been failed at C or D or G?
Oh, perfectly log file. First of all, I'll tell you. AD workers fail means D or G. That's it. If AD workers are not started, means C. I told you, auto-patch usually will apply C. Before going to D, it is start AD worker. So AD workers are used for D and G, not for C. Now within D and G, when you open the log file, worker log file, the AD, by looking at the AD worker log file, you can confirm whether it is performing D or G. That you can do. And I told you, D is not critical. Very critical is D. G is just generating. So it's okay. You can skip. You can take care later also. No problem. G will hardly. No. Mostly which one is going to fail? Mostly D first. Second G. So this is just an idea actually we are talking about. And if the patch is hanging, patch session is hanging. The hang session, that means it is doing nothing. Mostly the big patches, family maintenance patch, they hang actually. Big patches, they hang. So what are the steps you have to do? Check the compile if large objects are available. So it's step by step. If instance is hanging, path session is hanging, first check database invalid objects, check database number of invalid objects. If you find large number of objects are invalid, compile them. Problem is fixed. If it still persists, problem still exists, then check bounce back the database services. Problem should be okay. Otherwise, in the last case, you need to go for reboot. I generally, reboot is not a good option, reboot is not generally required, but that's the last option, one by one. If not, go second. If not second, go third, last. And here also, check the system, resource utilization system. Easily. Because at that time when we are renewing, nobody is accessing that table. But the path is hanging, waiting. So no transactions are going that time. See, so these are the few things in troubleshooting part we discussed. One, two, three reason भी है. Reason भी here reasons. Invalid object. Main reason is that. The main reason is because of invalid objects. Main reason. Second, your database services, because your instance is running since too long time. That could be one reason. Reason is that your system resources are too busy. The CPU utilization, memory utilization is too high. For that, reboot might be a good option.
So invalid objects in which scheme? To that particular.
Well, apps. Rebusiness with apps, invalid objects. So everything I mentioned here, reason, these and that. If number of large objects are more, then instance may hang. That's why you have to compile it. Or because your database services are running from long time and this. Again, I'm also not fully supporting that feature called that option called reboot the system. But there are certain organizations, if they don't reboot, maybe after a week or after 1 month, the performance is too bad. So after a week, after 1 month, every time they have to reboot the system, then performance will be good. Now tell me, who can dare to explain the reason? Nobody has explained it. Nobody can dare to explain us. Reason, tell me reason. No reason. So then what? Do reboot. In the industry has no reason actually. Don't reboot. One thing I can say that a thorough investigation is required. Thorough spending time is required. Like why unnecessary? Okay. You do your investigation, we will do our job. We will reboot it. You understand? So there are certain things like, for example, rebuilding indexes. If an index is fragmented, if it has got more than 25% rows are deleted, if the binary height of the increase is 3, rebuild. Okay, you keep explaining, we will rebuild it. Okay, you understand? You keep your explanation aside and we will do it. That is what the practice, real time practice. Practice is one thing, theory is one. In theory, if this is going to happen, do, okay, we'll do it. But no, we'll do it. Why? If you are not rebuilding indexes, performance is bad. If you are not rebooting system, users are going to, shouting at us. So should we look at your so a lot of things are, technical things are. But here, these are the steps I actually did. So you have to go more in technical explanation. See, probably I may discuss some of the more points related to patches next Monday also. I'll give you some more patches. But the reason why I am taking a right turn and going for cloning is, cloning again is we are going to discuss for 2 days, 2 sessions, don't worry. But here, cloning problem is when you're going to clone production to test whatever now, it is going to take a lot of time for copy. So at least we can discuss the basic steps. We can discuss the basic steps of cloning. Patches already you got it most. So cloning, what are the pre-steps are there, and then how we are going to copy from the source to target, and not all the steps, only 2-3 steps, so that we can save time. Monday you can directly see the actual cloning steps. Copy step you can see. For example, now you want to clone your database from one machine. Where you spend more time? Tell me. Copy, right? See, you take the backup, that may not take much time. And you are going to copy and recreate the control file. Recreating control file will take time. Recovery will take time, no time. But the problem is more copy. So that's why just to save that copy time, so we'll discuss. But in patches, like of course I will have to take your more questions, and this is the core concept we already discussed. Everything is related to patches, maximum what we can discuss about patches. This is basically, we are talking about cloning the production, cloning the production. Well, this is very much what you have been doing, like here. Database cloning, here we are talking e-business suite. Database cloning involves only what? Data files. Here e-business suite cloning involves data files as well as application file system, complete. Database cloning means you are only cloning database. Here we are cloning database as well as application, both. It's called e-business suite cloning, complete cloning, isn't it? And what is cloning? As you know, in database cloning or clone, what is the term clone? Clone means an identical copy. And then cloning means copy, same copy. Copy of production, copy of your production instance as test, as dev. So we'll discuss more about why we clone and complete detail about the method of cloning and all that. Here we will see the main steps of cloning. Okay. So actually, if you look at now here, in e-business suite, single node, actually single node, this is single node. So everything is here, like your production, R12, single node. Your application, your Apple top, your common top, your tech stack, your INST top, your RDBMS top, everything is here, single nodes. Now we want to clone to this box. We want to clone to this box. The database part you know, right? Yeah, database. Okay, let's discuss database. Database cloning. Database cloning. You know already, right? So what is the first thing we have to do for database cloning? First thing, we have installed the OS operating system. Then next, and make sure that OS is same. Different OS are not supported. In cloning, OS must be same. In your database cloning, OS must be same. General. Actually, you know my target machine OS is different. That's not cloning, that's called migration. That's not cloning. In cloning, your source and target same. Okay. Database cloning. What we have to do first? The OS part is there. Whatever the OS, RHEL, file. What we have to do? First is what? Yeah, Oracle home what? Yeah, what? Install. But here, like better than what? Installation. Better than what is the better option? Better than installation. Cloning of Oracle. The problem is, if this is your Oracle, say for example, say 10204. If you install, you get what? The base 10201 passive. Again, you have to apply separately what? Passive 4 extra patches. No, you better to do what? Clone. You clone the home. So when you clone, what do you get? Exactly 10 to 0. Clone. First we have to clone what? Oracle binaries. Clone Oracle home. I'm not talking about e-business suite, nothing. You've done database only. And then what we have to do next? Clone what? Database. You know there are two types, offline, online. Let's talk about offline. In offline, what do? You copy all data files. And what are the files you copy? Offline cloning. Offline cloning. What are the files you have to copy? Flow cloning. Data files. Yeah. But it is, but generally, most of the people they answer me, I don't understand this actually. Cloning database. I need a data file, log file, control. What is the need of this? Cloning karte kya karte? Yeah, for cloning we need only data files na yaar. Why do we need control file? Why do we need read log files? Okay. Only data files we need. Database cloning, data files we need. Database, only data files. So what you have to copy? You know you have a backup. Backup of what? Data files. Okay, data files. Okay, data files. So you copy data files. This is your copy RDBMS home, and this is your copy. You copy data files, and then we create what? We create control files. We create control files. And when you open database with reset logs, new review log groups will be created. So that means you need only database. That's it. After that, if you want to do recovery, you need also archlogs. After this plus, you may need archlogs. You may need archlogs, archive logs for recovery purpose. Means if this backup is little old, if the backup is correct, right now backup, offline backup, then you don't need archlogs. Okay, I'm not talking any points e-business suite, nothing. Only core database which you people are DBA and only database cloning. No, nothing e-business suite. That's it, right? So archlogs. So archlogs anyway, that we are talking about online cloning. So here we are offline cloning, so no archlogs. So RDBMS home, no, we are not installing. We are cloning. And data files we are copying. And control file is going to be, we have to create manually control file, right? Now, in e-business suite, you know what? Who is going to clone your RDBMS home? Who is going to create your control file? In this, when you are doing this, we are using this rapid clone. Using which method? Rapid clone method. So this using rapid clone method, this is based on some tools, scripts. So you know what are the tools are there? What are the scripts are there? Rapid clone method? This AD preclone, AD preclone.hull and AD CFG clone.hull. These are the two scripts. Prepare and configure. We see that. Okay. Not only RDBMS home. So who is going to clone RDBMS home? Rapid clone method. With the help of rapid clone method, we are going to clone home. Who is going to create control file for us? The rapid clone. And who is going to not only clone this RDBMS but even the application home? What are the application home? 10.1, 2, 10.1.3. Who is going to do that? Your rapid clone method. Rapid clone method means two scripts are there: AD preclone and AD CFG clone. Okay, just an idea I'm giving. So how many scripts are there for cloning? AD pre means prepare. AD CFG means configure. AD prepare and configure. I'm not telling you the detailed steps. I'll tell you the detailed steps 1, 2, 3. I'll tell you. Here I'm talking about database. You know, one problem here we have actually. If you see there is a problem, manual cloning. There is one problem. RDBMS home, we can clone. Data files, okay, database. But how about parameter file? What we do parameter file? Configuration. Again, we have to copy manually parameter file also, right? We have to copy manually parameter file, right? And then these parameters, what? You have to manually change, right? Parameters, isn't it? So, you know, in this manual approach, even if you are going to clone your database, in the manual approach, there are problems are there. And now this has been fixed easy. In e-business suite, your database and application cloning is fully automated, fully easy and fully automated. Okay. So you don't need to worry about your, like the configuration, the parameter file and all that. Who is going to do all these things actually? Your rapid clone method will do that. Rapid clone method. So rapid clone tool you can say, which is based on this tool. So now using rapid clone method we will clone. So we will clone two things here, dbtar as well as application tar. In dbtar we have RDBMS home, in application tar we have how many home? 10, 1, 2, 10. So cloning means, you know what, suppose you copy your RDBMS home from this machine to this machine. You think RDBMS home cloning is done? Cloning is done. RDBMS, simply if you copy RDBMS home from one machine to another machine, is it over? No. The proper steps are required. Like if you want to clone RDBMS home, you know what? If you copy or RDBMS home from one machine to another machine, not installation, not installation. Copy and copy. If you copy, then you have to do, you know what? Relinking also you have to do. Okay, relinking also you have to do. Manually you have to do what? Relinking. Okay, I am talking only at the database level, database only. And then there is one, you know, like when you perform installation of RDBMS home software, then it get registered into central inventory. Central inventory will be created and your RDBMS home will be registered into central inventory. Installation part, RDBMS home installation. Fine. Installation. Using which utility? You have been using, I think, 100 times you have used, might have. OUI, Universal Installer, right? Using Universal Installer, when you install RDBMS software using Universal Installer, it's going to create central inventory file. Also, it registers the Oracle Home into inventory. But again, like if you just copy, it is missing, right? You copy RDBMS home from one machine to another machine, then this is missing, right? Isn't it? Who is going to do registration? Okay. So here all is done with the help of this rapid clone method, with the help of these scripts. Okay. So actually here in this cloning, when we are cloning eBusiness Suite, we are taking the help of these two scripts, AD pre-clone, AD safety clone. So exactly why we are taking the help also you know. The major steps I am talking, the the detailed step registration are there. On dbtar and on AppStar, first you have to run, you know what? You have to run AD pre-clone. You have to run 2 times, you have to run AD pre-clone, AD prepare. So you have to run AD pre-clone on the source. This is your source system. When you run AD pre-clone on dbtar and AppStar 2 times, this AD pre-clone will gather the source information, complete source information. Source configuration, all the source configuration it is going to gather. Parameter, listener, application configuration, all that. I'll tell you more in detail later. AD pre-clone, how many times you have to run? 2 times. Why we are running AD pre-clone, you will understand that. Huh? Major thing. And then next step is what? Copy. What are the things you are going to copy? Complete Apple top, common top, as well as every stuff. Both home, 10.1.2 home and 10.1.3 home. Both home you have to copy, step by step. And plus you have to copy offline backup. Offline backup of database. Means you have to copy all offline backup of database, all data files. So that means when we are cloning this complete eBusiness Suite, we are doing no installation. Everything we are copying from the source. Everything. We are copying RDBMS home, data files, 10.1.2 home, 10.1.3 home, Apple top, common top, tech stack, only except INC top. Everything we copy from source to target. But before copy, we are running AD pre-clone. You know what? Cloning doesn't mean that simply you copy file from source to target. Cloning means the same configuration is required. Whatever configuration is there, source configuration, your database configuration, Apache configuration, same configuration is required for the target. Now who is going to capture the source configuration? AD preclone. So after running AD preclone only you can run what? Copy. Now you have copied almost everything. And now the third step, who is going to configure everything? You have to run what? AD CFG, configure AD CFG clone.pul. How many times you have to run? 2 times. So you are running on, this is you are running on what? On dbtar and appstar. 2 times AD preclone. This also you have to run on 2 times. You have to run on dbtar and appstar. You know, today, I want you to run, today just run, you see how to run AD preclone and just copy. This all we'll discuss tomorrow next session, because at least you can save the time for copying, and that's what my idea. But this copy is going to take huge time. Even if you just want to copy database, it is taking. Now what you have to copy? Everything. So that is going to take 2-3 hours. Okay. And AD preclone, you see today in practical AD preclone, and you see how the copy is done actually started. The remaining AD CFG clone and detailed steps I will tell you more in detail. Oh, cloning also we are going to discuss 2 days. So Monday, Tuesday we are going to talk about only cloning.
These tools will be run on production system.
Yes, tools, sorry.
AD preclone. You can directly
Yes,
run
of
on
course.
production.
Yeah, you are running on the source system, and your source system will be always what? Production. We will be cloning production to test, production to dev. So you run AD preclone on source, and don't worry, this is not going to create any problem, and you don't need to stop services. Direct you run AD preclone, okay? So you run AD preclone on this dbtar, okay, very simple. Like you log in as Oracle user and say Perl AD preclone.pul, and you pass one argument called dbtar, enter. Again you run on appstar, Perl AD preclone.pul, appstar. 2 times you run AD preclone. And this AD preclone will capture the source information. And then everything we have to copy, second step. And then this AD CFG. So whatever the configuration is captured by AD preclone, who is going to use it? AD CFG clone to configure. So AD preclone will capture the source information, and AD CFG clone will use that to reconfigure the target system. Okay. But AD CFG clone we will discuss more in next session. I will tell you. We'll discuss more about AD CFG clone, what exactly AD preclone does, where it will capture the source information, and actually main cloning steps are prepare the source system, copy the source system files to the target system, and configure the target system. 3 steps are. Generally, as a DBA, only the problem is disturbance is, yeah, copy and configure, I understand, but why we have to run AD preclone? Because in core database cloning we never do that, right? The reason is because here configuration information. Configuration. So AD preclone will capture all the configuration, and AD CFG clone. So how AD CFG clone knows the configuration of source? By AD preclone, because AD preclone when it captures, then that configuration will be used by AD CFG clone. Okay. So cloning of eBusiness Suite does not mean just simply copying the files. Cloning of eBusiness Suite means including configuration, complete same configuration, and this configuration is captured with the help of AD preclone, and this configuration is applied to the target with the help of AD CFG clone. AD preclone will capture, AD CFG clone will use it to reconfigure the target system. Okay. So today you are not going to see all the steps. You just see AD preclone and copy. And copy everything you see. And in this is the order: AppleTop, CommonTop, TechStack, and offline backup of data. Offline backup, you understand, means you need to stop services. Before you copy data files, you have to stop services. That is offline. But for application, there is no concept. When you are copying AppleTop from production machine to the test machine, when you are copying AppleTop, you don't need to stop services. When you are taking the backup of AppleTop, CommonTop, you don't need to stop application services. Well, more detail Monday only. So just you see AD preclone, and I will tell you more about AD preclone. Don't worry. More about AD preclone, more about AD CFG clone. And you got it? AD preclone and AD CFG clone means rapid clone method. Which method we are using for cloning? Rapid clone method means it is based on 2 scripts: AD preclone, AD CFG clone. So when you are using this AD preclone, when you are using AD CFG clone, means you are using rapid clone method. Rapid clone means speed fast now. Quickly it is capturing and it is quickly applying. Our job is become very easy. So that's why the name Oracle has given called rapid clone method. Rapid clone method, don't think anything. It's based on two skills, ADP clone. And where you have to run ADP clone? On the source. Where you have to run ADCMG clone? On the target. Steps. Source, run on source, copy. The main three steps only, that's it. And because you have two tabs, you have to run two tabs. ADP clone 2 times, ADCMG clone 2 times. And here, who is going to recreate control file? Who will create control file? Who is going to register RDBMS home into central inventory? Who is going to recreate control file? And ADCMG clone, how does ADCMG clone knows that how many data files are there in the database? That information is provided by ADP clone. Like that, we'll discuss more in detail. Just not for one session, but two sessions, Monday, Tuesday, cloning, entire clone. This is a very interesting concept, ADP clone. So we'll have more discussion. So just you see ADP clone and copy, we'll have more discussion. And ADP clone, where it will capture the source information, where it keeps, in which directory it keeps, what are the files, so complete, we'll discuss. Because the idea is Monday when you come, you can directly see what? ADCMG clone. Because copy will be done inshallah by Monday. Okay. So ADCMG clone you can see, so you can see the whole process. ADP clone, copy, ADCMG clone. So at least one idea. And then we can have discussion. We are going to discuss, you know what? Online cloning, we are going to discuss single node to multi-node cloning, multi-node to single node. And not just theoretically, practically also we will see inshallah. How to clone single node to multi-node and vice versa. And if the cloning fails, how to troubleshoot cloning also we'll discuss. And if still you have any question on patches also, no problem. Monday also can ask more about patches. So I hope you are going to relax tomorrow, Sunday with eases. No relax, no rest. You have to rest with what? Auto application. So tomorrow special Sunday lunch, cloning. Breakfast, patches. Lunch is cloning. Dinner will be good.
हमारे ग्रुप के रिकॉर्डिंग में